Good Thursday morning on this July 17th. I'm meteorologist Byron Douglas. We have an alert day on the board that begins this afternoon. Welcome to our all streaming program. We're going to have more in a moment with Casey and Mitch. We'll push this forward and we're going to go to the heat advisory. First of all, here's a look at the alert day overall. Alert day kicks in this afternoon. I'm going to take this full so you can absorb it. And again, we're up on our Facebook and we're also up on our 14 First Alert weather app here at this time. And if you have any questions, go ahead and fire them along. Just want to say a quick shout out. Good morning, Derek. Steph, good morning to you. Mateo, Polly, good morning to you. Kelly. And again, weather, we do appreciate you tuning in here. Look at this heat index this afternoon, 102 to 109. Keep in mind down in Sturgis, of course, down through Union County, the Union County Fairgrounds, got county fairs in progress. We have a damaging wind and a flooding threat. And we're going to talk about that the flooding threat has been elevated across our area. Karen and Joyce, good morning to you. So we'll bring this full. We'll go back and go through some of the graphics. But overall, I wanted to highlight that heat index. I bumped it up from 107 this morning up to about 109. And some of the highest heat indices could come across western Kentucky. You're farthest removed generally from that stationary front, but generally this includes all of our cities and towns north of Interstate 64. But even if you're up in Princeton, Jasper, the Du Bois County Fair along Highway 162, that heat index generally would be above 100. I don't see the advisory being carried over into Friday, but I think we'll see some new ones definitely as we go into next week, and I'll have more on that in a moment. Now, what's changed? We've been bumped up to a level 2 threat. We don't want to dismiss or disregard the flooding threat because the upper level winds, they're scooting along at a greater clip than they were earlier in the week, but we have that potential for a flooding threat this afternoon and tonight. So if you're out at camp, you're in low spots, you're near area rivers and lakes, or your area roads flood pretty quickly, and you know where a lot of those roads set up, do have a way that you can get to higher ground pretty quickly. I want to run this through Friday. It's a level 1 threat for flash flooding and some changes. We might add some alert time on Saturday and Sunday as well. That flooding threat, Jasper, Birdseye down through Tell City and then into Hancock County. And then on Sunday along this stalled front, we do have a flooding threat where these rinse and repeat thunderstorms during that time frame. That's what you're looking at, the flooding threat. And then in a moment, we'll check in with the Storm Prediction Center. We'll take this full here, the heat index guidance, as we go forward up to 106 to 107. I highlighted those areas up to about 109 as we go into the afternoon hours. So that's a look there at the latest heat index. That's a feel-like temperature, kind of the reverse overall of what you have when you have the wind chill. The heat is trapped near your body longer than it normally would. So if you're on a stationary bike in your backyard, you're going to heat up much quicker than if you're going up and down hills out there riding your bike. Maybe not the best day to do that, especially during the afternoon. Now, this is the risk for severe thunderstorms. It's a level 1 threat across the area. And I'm looking at some of the upper level winds at 10, 15, 20. I just picked these off before I came in here. I don't think we'll see much here in the way of funnel clouds, what we had earlier in the week in Posey County. The winds are pretty directional out of the west and southwest overall. But we do have a damaging wind threat, which we'll cover here. We're not risk for a hail or tornado threat. That freezing layer, I'm just looking at some of my notes here, 15, 16,000 feet. Remember, in the early spring, it even drops below 10,000 feet. Here's where we had the biggest change. So we do have that flooding threat. I'll take these full so I can absorb these. You get a break from me, so step out of the way here in a moment. All right, here on Doppler radar, we do have some showers here. We're going to watch how these storms, you might say, well, these are outside of our viewing area. They're not showing a whole lot. But these storms here along kind of the junction there of Interstate 24 and 57, even into Livingston County, they're working out in advance kind of these outflow boundaries to our south and west. So we're going to watch and see how these behave here over the next few hours. And I'll show you the wide view where we have some of these outflow boundaries down through SEMO, maybe far western Kentucky. A little bit of lightning there south and west there of Carbondale on Interstate 55. And they're caught up in the southwest flow. They'll be flowing to our area. And then those storms that maybe you're up early, I heard some storms last night, some outflow boundaries to our north, and then when you throw in some daytime heating, not all showers and thunderstorms will come in from the west. Some will develop right over our area. So we're going to be watching these areas over the next few hours. And then that front where we've had some warnings are back out in Kansas. And then we've had some lightning there north of Indianapolis. All right, let's take a look at the Muggy meter. Boy, 76. That's the highest reading here of the week. And we're looking at some, of course, with all the corn, sweat, soybeans, and the humidity from that, even some higher dew points as we go to the afternoon. And we're kind of looking at multiple cloud decks where we'll see those broken skies. I call them cumulobumpus clouds developing during the afternoon. So we'll see increasing clouds with these storms going. So overall, I went up to a 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms as we go into the afternoon and evening. So this is the greatest risk for a few severe thunderstorms. Now, if we catch a thunderstorm, obviously we'll get some relief in the heat index department. A couple of models coming at you. The HRRR model, as you go into the afternoon, I have time, I can show you a little bit more here as we go to the afternoon. This is a short range model showing a few storms developing during that time frame. Now, the storms could develop anywhere. This is just what's projected into the future. Inherently, there's always some characteristics that are incorrect with some of the modeling, but this takes us to 3, 4 o'clock. This model hasn't worked well in the last couple of weeks, but it is showing some showers and storms developing. And then another line in here potentially tonight, where I went with even chances for showers and storms, but this is the one model that's showing showers and storms likely for tonight that would carry over into Friday morning. Now I'm going to switch. Let us just take a break and absorb the in-house guidance here. I'm switching over here to the graph model, showing the southwesterly winds are scooting along, and then some showers here 1, 2 o'clock. Now, if these would verify, these generally would be subsevere, but this is a little later. 3, 4, or 5 p.m. some storms going during that time frame. You can't rule out some flash flood warnings. Now the red and yellow doesn't indicate the potential for just severe storms. That's the base reflectivity as we go to the future where you have that heavy rates of rainfall. This is showing a break in here tonight where we don't see a lot of pin action through tonight and then as we go through tomorrow. Now tomorrow on Friday, the best setup for showers and storms is early in the day. And then the question is, or the challenge, do we have enough energy to get another round going during the afternoon and evening? So we'll have to watch 4, 5, 6 o'clock, showing the best setup generally across western Kentucky during that time frame. And I want to show you that I'm going to take this fold, new alert days, Tuesday and Wednesday. A big dome of heat's going to build in. So I think the advisory or perhaps excessive heat warnings, that's not for severe storms potentially. As we grab that, I'll take that full. It's the potential overall for heat, and even can stretch up. I put a 98 in next Wednesday. We could be up close to 100 during that time frame. So those alert days there are due to some heat there. So that's the latest there in the 7-day forecast. Just giving a shout out to folks that have tuned in. Mandy, hey, Mitch Carter's on. Good morning to you all. All right, and Floyd, Nancy, Mateo, we just started this, so I'm getting a little quicker about getting down to my phone. If you guys have any questions, I'll try to get back to you here shortly. Otherwise, we got Casey and Mitch are in the house. They're going to be along, and they'll take a look at the news in a moment, and I'll have more coming up at 14 News at 11, and then again at 14 News at noon. Have a great day and be safe. Mitch and Casey in a moment.
News and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
Well, good morning, and thanks for joining us here for the mid-morning check-in, the news portion here. My name's Mitch Carter.
That's right. I'm Casey Mason. It is officially Thursday, July 17th. Hard to believe.
It's flying by, I know.
And it is hot out there. Of course, Byron Douglas breaking down the weather for us to kick things off today. Take care of yourselves out there, that's for sure. And we are on alert today, so just stay tuned to everything online and all things 14 News. We'll keep you updated with what you need to know.
Sounds
but
good.
Now we're going to update you with some headlines, right, Mitch?
Let's do it.
I want to read this story.
Please, first one. Take it away.
This one's more up my alley. Okay, Holiday World. You know I love Holiday World, being from the area, especially Du Bois County over here. Holiday World is actually getting ready to host its Summer Wind Down Culinary Festival. Got some video for you guys here to take a look at. So officials say there will be 30 new menu items at certain locations at the park. Each will come with its own recommended wine pairing, but don't worry, you guys. You can also purchase the food and drinks on their own, meaning you don't have to actually pair them if you don't want to. The festival runs August 4th through September 13th, and you can buy a tasting pass for it online or at the park. If you guys just want to go ahead and send me over my tasting pass, that would be great, because I will totally be involved in this event. I do love my wine. I think it's kind of fun to pair foods with certain, if you like your white wine or your red wine. And hey, also at a theme park for the day. The two go hand in hand.
It's a good deal. It's a good deal. And some more big news here, this time in Evansville. It's a huge one here, in case I've actually covered this before here at 14 News. Mesker Amphitheater, one step closer now to a possible reopening, right? So the Evansville Board of Park Commissioners approved a request for proposals, or an RFP, to reactivate the amphitheater. So the venue opened back in 1951, of course. Those around here for a long time remember that, all the concerts there. At one point, it was one of the largest open-air venues in the region. Well, this RFP allows proposals to be evaluated over the next 60 days to see if there is a viable plan for the Mesker Amphitheater to reopen. Mayor Stephanie Terry says she feels pretty hopeful about it.
I think I pulled the wrong. I was like, wait a minute, that's not the right person talking. It's okay. I was supposed to load a thought there, and I don't think we had it. I went to click on it.
I think we
Do we want to play it still?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and
for
play
reference, this is I believe it's somebody with the Parks Board.
I would have liked to have seen my face just now on here. Hey, we're doing our best, guys. So with the Parks Board. Okay,
yes.
okay.
Here's a sound bite about the amphitheater.
Yes, let's press
School
play
at
on
USI, so definitely know about the history, everything else of Evansville. Want to work diligently with the community, the West Side Nut Club, a lot of locals, to make sure that we pull this thing off right.
All right, there you have it. Of course, we said Mayor Terry. That's not Mayor Terry, but with the Parks Board, we'll do as well. They say that the approval of a proposal does not guarantee Mesker Amphitheater will reopen, but they say that the city is open to ideas and hopeful that they can, maybe work out a plan for this. That would be exciting there. My bad for pulling the wrong person.
That's all right. I know I talked to Byron this morning, and he said he remembers seeing shows there. I know a lot of people around here do remember that. I know I did a story a while back when Mayor Terry first took office to see if the administration was thinking about doing this kind of thing. Clearly, it's on their mind. And we talked to a lot of people there who remember a lot of really great concerts there and events. So it'd be really cool to see that back open. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Of course, we'll let you know once we know more ourselves.
Maybe it was your story that foreshadowed this.
I don't want to give myself too much credit here.
Just saying. So, all right, and moving on. This is our favorite story of the morning. I had to pick this one for us. Hopefully the right picture actually pulls up. I'm already off to a great start today. Here you go, guys. How cute is this? There is a new face at the Mesker Park Zoo. Zoo leaders officially announced their new baby penguin. It's pronounced Euchre, which we all know.
Absolutely.
Hatched
Popular card
a
game.
month ago, making it the third hatchling to join the Mesker family. Now, this little one here came from the same mom and dad of Louie Pickle, who hatched in 2023.
Yeah, we covered that extensively here on 14 News, only the hardest hitting headlines. Zoo leaders say that Euchre, the chick, is growing strong and hitting all the milestones. They include learning to take fish from keepers there, growing waterproof feathers, and of course, taking those very first swimming lessons. Zoo leaders say to stay tuned, though, to find out if Euchre is a boy or a girl. And something I want to talk about here that you guys at home can't see. So we do these things called pronouncers in our prompter, right? So right now, obviously, its name is Euchre, and we've got YOO-KER to pronounce it. I'm offended a little bit.
I mean, we all know Euchre.
We're in Southern Indiana. We're playing
Our
euchre. Absolutely.
Any family get together, it was Euchre. And then, what was the card game game my family plays? I'm going to blank right now that we're live, but oh yeah, poker nights into the evenings, and we know a card game or two.
I
here
need
in
to
Southern
find
Indiana.
out who around here needed the pronouncer and have words with them, because
Right.
what are you? We're in this
Although,
market.
even if there are pronouncers, I still sometimes get it
Me
wrong.
too. Me
so.
too. That's all right.
Today they were like, stand by. We're like, we're ready. And we still weren't ready. So it happens.
Happens a lot.
Oh, I'm trying to think of the card game, but I'm blanking right now.
yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. But no, that little penguin.
Very
I
cute.
love that they're called hatchlings too.
That is cute,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's really cute. But yeah, that's a sweet story. This picture's still pulled up there.
doubt.
Okay, tell me the story about the dad and mom's name, Pickle. You said there was like a
Oh,
vote.
yes.
I'm from the
so-
tri-state, but I've been away for a couple years. So what exactly happened a couple
Anybody
years ago with
here
this?
who remembers young Pickle, the penguin there? I forget the
Pickle
first. Let
the
me scroll up a little bit. I
Yeah.
know it has a
in
full
the
government
prompter.
name. I remember, if you guys remember this at all, the zoo was holding, I believe, a contest. Louis Pickle there was who
Louis
won.
Pickle.
I believe they held a contest to see what they would name the hatchling. And if I remember correctly, I think Jordan Yaney here submitted Baby Byron Douglas as a name, and I think it got some votes.
That's great.
So maybe next hatchling we can get a young
Mitch
Byron Douglas of
Carter.
our own.
We'll get a little Mitch Carter penguin
No,
in there. So.
I would be so honored.
One of my favorite things is we take our 14 News live sky cam sometimes throughout the live shows, and today they took the shot of the Mesker Park Zoo,
Yeah.
the penguin area there, and it's so cute to watch them just out there living their best
Swimming
life.
around,
So
doing their thing. Oh, yeah.
Congratulations. And I guess we'll find out if it's a boy or a girl. I'm not sure what the situation is with penguins, why you have to wait, but hey, that is an updated story that we will bring you here
That's
on
right.
14
Up to the
News.
zoo's
So-
discretion there. And,
Yeah,
and
that's
of
up to
course,
them.
of course, our big story here on the Thursday is the alert day that's in right now. Getting on a more serious
Yeah,
note
so
here.
no, we're having too much fun today.
Yeah,
We're sorry,
obviously,
guys.
for those who are stuck around here, we appreciate you. I know Byron just had a great weather segment there talking about
Mm-hmm.
that. For those out there, please stay hydrated, stay safe out there. Of course, it's going to be very, very hot heat indices in the triple digits there. And then, of course, with that, always on alert there, keeping an eye out for severe storms potentially. So keep an eye on that. Of course, great reminder here to go ahead and get the 14 First Alert app on your
Yes,
phone.
yes.
Byron keeps it updated. Jeff, Arden, Michael, they're great at that. They keep the forecast on there for you. And, of course, if in the event where there are storms that need to cut into the airwaves, they'll always be on there streaming for you. You can follow along with them. Keep yourself and your family safe.
Yeah, you can search for it in your app store. And then today at 11 a.m., when we bring you 14 News at 11, I'll be running a story and we'll have the QR code on the screen. So if you are tuning in today at 11, you can just hold up your phone today, literally, and it'll just scan that QR code and then you can download the app. That's what I did. I've got my app
There you
ready
go.
to go. Sometimes they go off when we're on air.
Yes.
So that happens.
It happens.
Let's see, Drew. Good morning, Beverly. Good morning, Scott. Rook. That's the name of the card game. Thank you, Scott Mason. It's called Rook that my family
There you
likes to
go.
play. Euchre and Rook. That would have bothered me the rest of the day. I can't think of things this early. And of course, everybody else that's tuning in, good morning to you. We appreciate it. We're glad you joined us today. Today's my Friday, folks.
That's
I
right.
am not going to be, I'm taking the day off tomorrow. It's for
Tomorrow-
my July 4th holiday. So
Tomorrow's just the
you're on your
boys,
own.
just myself
That's
and Byron.
right.
We'll be in
That's
here
right.
once again at 8:30, of course, as we are every Monday through Friday. And then come Monday, back to normal here. You'll have all three of us again. But of course, for those joining us here, if you're keeping an eye on the storms here this
Mm-hmm.
afternoon as things get closer, don't forget we've also got a show coming up at 2:30 with Jamie French and Robinson Miles and Arden or
Who's in
Jeff.
today, I believe.
Somebody,
maybe Jeff.
there will be a meteorologist in here who is qualified to talk about this. So, as the afternoon gets on here, the heat kind of kicks up, and as we're watching for those storms, gentle reminder there, of course, there's also a streaming show at 2:30, along with our normal news
Yeah.
at 4, 5, 6, and 10, so you can
We're
stay updated.
really glad you guys have caught on to this streaming show. Just to kind of recap for those of you maybe are joining us now,
Oh, yeah.
what we are doing is we're running our own little videos over here. We're also running graphics. We're popping up backgrounds. We're running our microphones, our audio, our feeds. So thank you for being patient with this. This is a new thing that we've been doing
Yeah.
it's been a couple of weeks now, but
Yeah.
I always say it's kind of like patting your head and rubbing your stomach at the same time. You're doing a lot of moving parts, a lot of juggling act going on up here. So thank you guys for your patience. Thanks for letting us have fun with it, because the biggest thing is that we just get to have a conversation with you. Even if we pull the wrong video, we still have
Happens.
a good time.
It's a work in progress.
And still let you know the important things that you need to know, which
That's
again
right.
is that alert day coming up. So
No doubt.
I guess we'll get out of here.
Call today.
That's
Let's
right.
do it. All right. Once again here, Thursday, July 17th, on alert today. Keep an eye on that out there. Of course, once again, 14 First Alert app's great for keeping you updated there. And we'll have shows on throughout the day here. And of course, a streaming show at 2:30. But for us here, that's going to do it. Tomorrow will be just me and Byron at 8:30. And then come Monday, have the band back together, do our regular
Yeah,
thing.
you'll enjoy a little break. I know I will. All right, you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you later, okay?